All right.
My toes are so cold.
The socks on. Want my socks? I'll take them off my feet. Put away.
My shorts are horrible. Don't look.
Okay,
Fats
let's go.
falling
Let's go.
out.
Let's go. Okay, we still got to pack. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
That's us. So, we've said this in all of the
Silly.
videos that we've recorded this like today, but this is the first one that you're gonna see. I am not hungover. We don't even drink. I have a migraine.
PSA.
Yeah, and Mandy is wearing sunglasses in solidarity.
They're now on the top of my head.
No, just put them on the top of her head now. I can't do that. Okay, so this is our 1 minute book recs. This is where we go over all the books that we read in the past week with 1 minute synopsis for each book. I may have a very big rant for you guys shortly. I don't know what Mandy's got in store.
I read about Jack the Ripper.
She read about Jack the Ripper. So stay tuned for that. But before we get started with that, I'm sure there's a tiny bit of housekeeping.
Yeah. Hit that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm. And
check out our channel membership if you're interested.
Okay. How was your reading week? I mean, half of it was spent with me here, so.
There's my book journal. I realized I never grabbed it. I read 9 books.
Okay. I read 11. One was a trilogy. One was for work. I'm only talking about 8.
Okay. And spoiler, I may have read too much hockey. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so I have to get started here, and I need to. Yes, you do. And because we're doing this, I won't get home till almost 1 a.m. Mandy will get home a couple hours before that. But since it's late, we're gonna try and edit this quickly. So we're gonna do the thing where we pulled up the pictures.
Yes.
So
okay. So to start my reading week off, I read Once Upon a Christmas by Angie Cottingham. And so this is obviously Christmas romance, but this is not your typical Christmas romance. Sydney meets Riker. He's a bouncer at a bar, and she's really attracted to him. She also needs a date for her family's holiday party, so she starts using an app, and she thinks she's talking to somebody, but Riker may have hacked that app, and then things get really wild. It is not like what you would think a Christmas book would be like. So it would be more up your alley. It is not your Hallmark Christmas book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was my Christmas in July experience.
And you gave it
4 stars.
Okay. All right. Well, the first thing that I read was my trilogy. And the trilogy is it's an MC trilogy, and it's the Sacred Centers MC, and it starts with Hopelessly Devoted by Bink Cummings. I've heard a lot of things about her, like good things for her MC, so I had some really high hopes. Now let me just tell you about this book. Let me tell you about it really quick. Okay. Our heroine.
Put my arm down for a minute because I feel like I need to buckle up.
You do. You buckle up. Our heroine had met her neighbor. They fell into a relationship. They had 2 little girls, and then he took off and left her. And she hasn't seen him in years, supposedly. But she's pregnant. Okay. Her dad also disappeared. Her dad was murdered or died in a car accident or something. Her dad died. She gets a message from this guy in this MC that's like, I've got answers for you if you can come to me, and I'll get them to you. And she's always known that something was off with her dad dying. And so she goes to the MC. She gets there. She's greeted by this other pregnant woman who's about pregnant as she is. They have a little conversation. She gets brought into the MC. She walks in, finds her baby daddy there. That is his wife. She is pregnant with this child. The wife is pregnant with this child. Like, it just sounds like it would have been so good. Oh my God.
Waiting for the problem.
Okay, so the problem comes in with, she also finds her dad, and this all happens like in the first 5 minutes of the book. Her dad is there. He's in a relationship with the MC president, whatever. But they spent like 10 whole minutes describing the fact that these guys were gay and making sure that she was okay with the fact that her dad was gay. Like, she's just happy he's alive. Like, it's not a big deal, okay? And then there was just some things that were said there that just kind of creeped me out. And then, this is not the rant. I have another rant for you guys, but let me just give you this one. And then she hooks up with the guy in the bathroom while his wife is outside. And like, they're just, at some point he came down and knocked her up. We just don't find out when till later. He wanted her, but he was married to this woman. And she was just like, okay. Like, the heroine was like, okay, like, it was no big deal. He deserted you and your daughters, and you're just like, okay. And then like, they're like, oh, well, this was closure for us. And then she goes home. I'm like, wait, you're knocked up with this kid. so many like it was a trilogy. I wasted my life on it, and I gave it 3 stars, more like 2.5. And I made from it. Just let's move on, or we're gonna be here all day with me yelling.
Okay, so next I read a lot of Bray authors this week. So next I read Bloodsport by Britt Rain. We met her also in Spicy Reads.
You didn't give me the book.
I did.
Oh, there it is. It got lost.
I did give you.
You
the book.
did. Sorry.
Okay. Next, I read Bloodsport by Britt Rain. I talked about this book briefly during our Spicy Reads video, I think was the one. But here's the thing. This is book 2. Book 1 is Chokehold, and it is a love triangle. I hate love triangles. I will not read it. So if you want to read book 1, you need to just skip this review because it will be a spoiler because this is the guy that didn't get chosen. So forewarned. Okay, so Bloodsport. So we have Sloane. Sloane is our heroine. She used to go by Sydney. Sydney escaped a very abusive husband, and she works at a gym now. And Beck works there as well. And oh, he's also nursing a broken heart. I couldn't figure out what my notes were saying. Sorry. So Sydney's ex is coming for her. There's little signs that keeps leaving behind, and she's totally freaked out because he is like, there's very detailed stuff at the beginning where he is not a nice man to her at all. And so she's freaked out. Beckett, though, is still kind of hung up on what happened in the first book. And so things are going to get a little messy. I enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars. Okay. That's done. So nobody's going to get spoilers if they're joining us at this point now. Okay, here we go.
All right. So just one really quick. Just really quick. The next one that I read was West of Forever by Corinne Michaels. This is what our buddy read was. I'm just gonna. Mandy's talked about it. We talked about it in the buddy read. It's been talked about a lot. But this was Lark and Tristan, and it was it's cowboy. It's rival families, like kind of like Romeo and Juliet rival families. He's a single dad. His daughter is amazing. She made the book. And I loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars, and it was worth picking up. So if you haven't read this and you wanted to see my reaction to it, there you go. Go read it.
Okay. Next, we have Tripping for number 68, which is by Eden Knox. It's the first book in our Sin Ben series, so this is hockey. So we have Elliot. Elliot has like the typical bad reputation in hockey. So Ronnie works for the team, and she's told this is your project to get this guy's act cleaned up right away. So we don't see too much of him being a really like a playboy, bad boy or anything. We're kind of getting into it when she's coming to try and clean up the mess. He's difficult. He's still kind of doing his own thing. He insists on having certain time blocked out. Doesn't want to tell her why. And yeah, I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to give spoilers away. It's a pretty fast read. There is audio for it as well. I rated it 4 stars.
Okay, so Emma Slate is coming out with like the rest of her audio for her Tarnished Angels MC came out this past week, and so I picked up book 3. I really enjoyed books 1 and 2, and Emma has said that she wrote these because Jax Teller pissed her off in Sons of Anarchy because he cheated and it was like a thing, right? So she wanted guys who were just going to be dedicated to their women. Well, that's what we get. I will say that this one out of the 3 that I've read is probably my least favorite, but it had like my favorite tropes and I thought I was going to love it. And I don't know. This is Brooklyn and Slash. So Brooklyn goes to a party out at the MC when one of the guys, the guy, yeah, you can do that. The guys are roughhousing and she ends up getting hurt and she has to go to the hospital. And so Slash is the one who ends up taking her to the hospital. She has a concussion, not a huge deal, but then he takes her back to her apartment and screws her brains out because that's what one does after coming home from the emergency room. So, there's that. She ends up getting pregnant. Now, Slash is the nomad of the MC, so he really doesn't have a place of his own, and he kind of goes like, there's a reason why he's a nomad. And so she doesn't think she's ever going to see him again. She runs a bakery. There's some nefarious things happening with the bakery and some people trying to buy out the land around her. She wasn't going to tell him. He shows up. You can put it down now. He shows up and decides that, well, she's pregnant with his kid, so they're going to have a relationship. And it really is just their relationship and her dealing with the bakery and what's happening. It didn't give me like the other two. The first 2 gave me a level of like not angst, but like a level of suspense where there was something happening. This one just didn't didn't. So I still gave it 4 stars. I still enjoyed it. It's just more of a softer 4. And I'm still going to continue on in the series. It happens sometimes where we read a series by an author and we love that author, but every once in a while one of the books in the series just doesn't hit the same as the others, and I'm hoping that this is the last of them that will do that. So yeah. Okay.
Giveaway time.
Giveaway time.
So Avery Kingston, we met her at Bray and she gave us this book. It's signed for you guys for a giveaway. So this is Chasing Fire. So all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and comment below. I also will put her Facebook reader group down below so you could go join that as well, because authors really do love that support. So if you guys can go follow her or join her group, that would be amazing. So this is our giveaway. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment to be entered to win.
Okay, I want to look this up really quick. Okay, I'm going to hand this to you in just a minute. But so the next book that I picked up, I was really excited. It was a surprise audio drop by Lilith Vincent, and this was for Cruel Savior, which is the first book in her Ruthless Arrangement series. So the audio for book 2 came out before book 1. But the audio is done by Corvin King and Chloe Ryan. They did a fantastic job. This is about Adora and Vincenzo. So the book starts out, Adora is the daughter of a mafia don, a very bad one. So I just told you guys a week ago about book 3. I know I told you guys a week ago about book 3 and how the hero had been abused, Cristiano. So this is Cristiano's little sister, and this is her story, but her story comes before his. But something happened between her dad. She was in an arranged engagement, and they went to an engagement party, and her dad betrayed that other family horrifically. And when that happened, she fled. And so we started out, she's on a laundromat. She's been on the run for a couple weeks now. And there is a guy, she sees blood in the laundromat, and she finds a guy who is being beaten by these other guys on the floor. And she can tell by the guys who are doing the beating, like she can tell by the tattoos on their hands that they're bad, like they're another mafia family. And so she saves this guy on the floor. Turns out that guy is the guy that she was supposed to be engaged to. He is the arranged man person. Now, because of what happened to his family, he is out for revenge. And she ends up getting found out by her family. Her dad's been looking for her. He takes her home, and he's beating her and treating her badly when Vincenzo goes in to try and kill her dad to get revenge, and sees her and sees the way her dad treats her, and decides that he is going to follow through with this wedding because A, that's one way to keep her safe, but B, that's one way to get back at her dad. And so there's those other plots and stuff that go along with it. I gave it a solid 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay. Next, I read Hockey Boy by Brittany Nicole, which is the first book in her Boston Bolts hockey series, and that comes after. Yeah, it comes after the Revenge Games series, if you follow the reading order. So this is Lennox and Aiden's story, and we have seen them in the other book. We know Aiden is married to Jill. We see bits and pieces of like Jill just really like treats Aiden badly. Like he'll show up at his brother's place and be like, Jill locked me out again. Like, can I stay here? That sort of thing. So I was really, really excited to be reading about Aiden and Jill's pretty shitty relationship, and then like how does he get out of this and move on to Lennox. Well, what happens at the very beginning of this book is they're engaged, and everybody's like, really, they're going to get married? They go to meet with the wedding planner. It's Lennox, and so that's just what Aiden needed apparently to wake out of this. So he immediately breaks it off with Jill and decides to start pursuing Lennox again. Lennox and him were together many, many years ago. I got really, really bored with this. I thought there was going to be some more angst of her having to like see him with his fiance. He was going to have to battle his feelings. Like, I just really thought it would go in a different direction, not just like, oh, I'm done with her. Like, he was going to marry her. Like, I get that she was the wrong person for him, but he was going to marry her.
Yeah.
So I just got kind of bored with it. I rated it 3 stars. It may have been more me. I may have just overdone it on the hockey, like I said. I think I have, because yeah, I think I just need a break from hockey.
Loving an author, but not all books work.
Yeah, so this one didn't work for me. I am going to continue on in the series. I just need a break from hockey before I come back to it.
Okay.
Okay.
So the next one that I read is The Humiliated Wife, and it's by Elise Camden. I'm seeing weird colors on the screen. This is fun. Okay, this is it's my eyes because of my head hurting. So Fiona and Dean. Fiona and Dean have been married for about 2 years. Fiona is a fifth grade teacher. Dean, we never really quite are told what he does, but I kind of piece it together. It sounds like he works as like a big ad executive or something, but he works in this high rise. He's got an office. He's up for a big promotion. He makes a lot of money. She really doesn't have to work, but she loves to do it. She loves her kids and she loves what she does as a teacher. And so she continues to have that. So they do a lot of parties and stuff where she has to hang out with his friends, and his friends kind of make fun of her, like not necessarily make fun of her, but like they pull out the quirky little things that she says or does, and they're like, oh, isn't that cute? You know, that kind of a thing. When they're at a big gala one night and her husband is getting an award, she realizes that he has done something that is so horrific. And he thinks it's more of a endearing thing and a joke, but it really lets her see how he thinks of her and that she's less than him. And so she leaves him and goes to live with her sister. And then he realizes, it takes a while for him to realize the error of his ways, but then he comes groveling back. So I liked this. I gave it 3.5 stars, and let me just kind of tell you why. The last half, like the first half, I enjoyed, but then it became very repetitive, where it was like you could see that he was doing the work and changing, and he was doing these things like he realized what he had done and he wanted to save his marriage. And one minute she was like, oh, I miss him. And the next minute she was like, nope, I'm a boss ass bitch and I'm going to make my way in life. And it was that back and forth that drove me insane. It became very repetitive. And by the halfway point, by the 60% point, I'm like, would you just freaking take him back? I mean, this is ridiculous. Take him back or cut him loose, but let's do something here. So anyhow, it could have been great. Could have been great, but I don't know. It just needed more fleshing out. So, okay, what's your next one?
Okay. My next, because I needed a break from hockey, I decided to read about Jack the Ripper.
Yes,
That's
that's what you do.
thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is The Ripper by Amy Cecil. Just to start off, that she actually has historical accuracy to the victims, and she does talk about that in here as well. Like she talks about, like, pays tribute to what they went through.
Mm-hmm.
So there's historical accuracy in this. So we have Marie, who's working as a prostitute in London, and we find out why she's in this situation, and it's sad. And she lives with this guy. He kind of like takes care of her, but not really, and he's not that great of a guy either. Like he does some stuff that's just not that great. And she gets an offer by this man to come and stay with him. Basically, she stays with him from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and he pays her very well. So she agrees to this. But during this time, the Jack the Ripper things are starting to happen and it freaks her out and she doesn't know who she can trust. And some shady stuff is happening. This is marketed as historical romance. I'm going to put a pause on that and say that it's more of a thriller. If you guys catch my drift, just think about what you're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna love this next one. Hold on, Kendall's trying to tell me something. I listened to no audio just came out. Did you show the people instead of just shaking your head at the
You
camera?
haven't said the name yet.
The Orc's Rage by, I think it's Leone Riley.
This
So
is who Jessica finds attractive.
I never said that. He looks different in my head. So this is Cedar and
So he looks like Jensen Ackles as an orc.
he just got some green skin and some big teeth. This is Cedar and Carter's story. So Cedar is an indentured servant and she's living in this village. This woman has been rude to her, but raised her. Her parents basically sold her for a cow. And when the orcs come in and they raid her village and they kill everybody except for her, because Carter realizes that if he takes this woman, he can breed her and he can have little orclings, and then he can pick up other girls along the way and do that as well, because he can have a whole harem. Yeah, so that's what gives the angst part, because she starts to fall for him. And he's just like, because for orcs, like they're supposed to marry their own orky people and not humans, but humans can birth their babies. And so he's like, I can basically make me an army of kids. And so he takes her to his tent to like do that. She
Wow.
starts to fall for him. He falls for her pretty early, but he's very numb to his own feelings. Also, he has a knot, ladies. He does have a knot. So I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It's probably the one that I enjoyed second most out of the whole week. Second most. So, you know, I enjoyed it.
Okay. So next I read the next book in the Ripper series, which is The Mind of a Killer. Oh, did I say I rated Ripper 5 stars? I don't know that I did. So I rated Ripper 5 stars. I really loved it. I love a good mystery though. So just want to put that out there. So next I read The Mind of a Killer. So I did find out from the author this is a trilogy and there's a third book. So I bought this because the third book is in here. So I'll be reading that very soon. So I don't want to give anything away though. I rated The Mind of a Killer a 4, but it probably was a 5 because it kind of continued the story for me. Yeah.
Okay.
If you like that like stuff, I think you guys would enjoy it. It's written really well. And there's audio for the first 2 books for those of you who love audio.
Okay.
Mrs. Jessica.
Here you go. So
you just read all over the fucking place.
I do. So I picked up
there's a Annie, there's an orc.
Here's some Vikings. So I read Karina Halley's Ravager because the audio came out. And so this is MFM. And this one is about Shireen. She is a French woman living on her family's farm in France when the Vikings come in and raid her her village, and everybody is slaughtered. She is saved by Eric, who is one of our Viking guys, and he has a talk with his best friend, who is Rolf, who is in charge of all these Viking guys. And Rolf, he's like, basically, I want to keep her. And Rolf is like, well, you can keep her until I want her. And then it is up to me what I'm going to do with her, because he's in charge, so he can. He also tells Eric to break her in for him. And Eric has not really been sleeping with women. Like he's going through something. He's dealing with his own whatever. And, eventually shit happens. I gave it 3 stars. I was bored. I was very bored. And I'm not the only one. This is one of the lower rating Karina Halley's, and I had high hopes.
Oh, so we both kind of had that, an author that we normally really love that just didn't hit right for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What you got next?
Okay, next on my list, I read Lunatic by Shel Rose. So this was like my Bray reading week, definitely. So in this is part of the Wellard Asylum series, and it's a shared world with a bunch of different authors. I think her book might be the last one in the series. I'm not 100% sure. So this is Bianca. Bianca is put in this asylum. We have Raven, who's already there. He is not a good man. Like, he gets easily enraged. Somebody who works there throws his pudding cup away, so he kills her. Like, I mean, he's just not well. And there's a doctor who works there that's also not well, but the doctor's a little bit afraid of Raven. So the two of them kind of torment people together. That'd be an accurate description, I think. And he's so Raven doesn't have the normal, like, he kind of is allowed to do whatever he wants as long as he doesn't bother the doctor. So Bianca's there. The doctor's obsessed with Bianca, takes her down to the basement, and really horrific things happen down in the basement, like really horrific things. It's dark, it's deranged. I don't know why I read it. I still rated it 4 stars.
Okay, are we all ready for my rant now?
Those weren't your rants?
Oh, no. No.
Oh, gosh.
This book was a DNF, and let's have a discussion.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did hear about this.
You did when I was reading it.
I got read to.
Yeah, it was horrific. So this is another author that was here. So I feel, no, I don't. It wasn't that good. I don't feel bad. The book wasn't good, and I can say that. So this is Dar by Jennifer Julie Miller. This is supposed to be an alien romance, and it is that. But okay, so let me just tell you about this first book. First of all, the writing was childish, the way they spoke to each other, because it starts out with our heroine, and her husband are going on vacation, and the way they talk to each other. No, people don't talk to each other the way they do. There was a pet name in every sentence, and I don't know. It was written
there was hand holding and skipping through the airport.
There was hand holding and skipping to the fucking airport, guys. How many of you have held hands with your husband and skipped to the damn airport? I mean, I get that you're excited you're going to the Bahamas, but I just got back from there. There was no hand holding and skipping. There was more of a stop complaining. discussion because mine doesn't travel well. Anyhow,
and stealing somebody else's suitcase problem.
yeah, I take a little bit of responsibility for that. Anyhow, that was on the way home. I was tired.
Your husband was afraid to tell you.
Because my husband was afraid to tell me that the suitcase didn't look right. Apparently, I'm not vicious when we travel. Anyhow,
This is why Jessica cannot relate to skipping through the airport.
Jeff actually has a very hard time traveling. He does not like to travel. He'll bite my head off for like the littlest things when we travel because he just doesn't like people. And there's a lot of people in an airplane in an airport. Speaking of airplanes, the husband and wife get on an airplane.
I just want to point out, though, Jeff was afraid to tell you about the suitcase. This was
Well,
not
because
Jeff
I was trying to
being
rush us out to the
fighting
thing.
with people. This was you.
Well, I was really afraid, but okay. Anyhow, he
It
did
was a
say,
direct quote.
yeah, well, he'll be fine.
So
So
I was
anyhow,
afraid to tell you
because I
you
was
were
trying to
yelling
get
at us
we
about being
missed
late
our
for the
shuttle. We had like 2 minutes to get to the shuttle. If we missed our shuttle, we had to wait 2 hours for the next one, and it was already 9:30 at night, and it was a 3-hour shuttle ride. So, okay. Anyhow, back to the friggin' book. Okay.
I just want them to understand why you can't relate to that in case there are people who are like, yeah, me
Okay.
and my husband are always excited and run through the airport together.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay,
back to the
Dark.
book. Okay.
Sorry.
So they get on a plane. They're on the plane, flying. Right. When you're flying, you're going freaking fast. That's the whole point in flying. When the plane is immediately stopped because something hovers over it and stops them. And she says that she falls on the floor. First of all, were you wearing a seatbelt? Because you were supposed to be wearing a seatbelt when you're on a plane. Second of all, if a
Safety
plane
over here.
stops going, how fast do planes go? 1,000 miles per hour. Your body is going to continue on seatbelt or not. Are you? No. No. Then the top of the plane is ripped off. And these giant creatures come in and take all the women. But they kill some of the women and then they kill all the men. And I'm sorry, it was, I could go more, but I'm going to save that for a rant video. It was just not, it was unrealistic. Research need to be done. That is not the way you're going to get kidnapped by aliens because they're going to kill all of you. You're going to be in a giant airplane full of mush. You're going to be mush people because physics. Okay. So no, and I'm sorry, but nobody skips through the day. We've been in a lot of airports. How many couples have you seen skipping through the airport?
We're going to skip through the airport today.
Yeah, well, that's because we're
Yeah.
cool.
So commercial airplanes cruise at 550 to 600 miles per hour.
It's 600 miles per hour. If you stopped just like that on a dime, your body's still going.
Thank you,
For that graphic picture.
Newton.
I'm sorry, but like there's when you read romance, when you read fiction, you can suspend disbelief for some things, but then there's
Like an orc.
like an orc.
But don't you dare stop that airplane in midair.
Exactly. It's just not logical. I'm sorry. Aliens
That's an
coming
orc
down
wanting to collect women so he could have lots of children is people. That's logical.
because that was a fantasy. That's fantasy. And this is ridiculous. TikTok shop wants me to buy something. Okay, now I'm done for the week. It's all Mandy. I'm gonna go over here and die a little bit.
Okay, so next I read. There's
That's
stuff
my
in your
pretty
book.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, Wrong Cabin, Right Time by C. Hallman. So this is dark rom-com. I loved it. So we have Travis. Travis is a serial unaliver. And the reason we say certain words is so our videos don't get flagged. So those of you, I've seen people question that, not necessarily on our
No,
videos,
not
but
on
on
people's
like
videos.
TikToks and stuff like that. Why don't people just say what it is?
Because
That's
you
why. In
can't.
case you don't know. So like he's up to like number 37, I think. So he's like really, it's a commitment on his part at this point. And he has routines, like very serious routines. Like it's a certain day, he eats a certain thing, he does a certain thing at times. Like everything is very, very meticulous. Okay. And we have Sage, who's very opposite of that. She accidentally shows up at his cabin thinking it's where she's staying to film her content. So she gets there and really just rocks his world. And he wants her to go away. She has fallen for this man very quickly. And it's just it's a dark rom-com, but it's really quite funny. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I rated it a solid 4 stars. Like, I think it was probably even closer to a 5 because I still think about it. And I usually move on from my books pretty quick. Okay. And by still think about it, I haven't really read since we've been at Bray. So I finished this prior to us coming here. Okay, so my last book was an ARC that I got. It comes out on July 28th, and it's Everything We Couldn't Say by Emma Scott. This is the second book in the Castle Hill Academy series. So in this one, we have Orion. He is part of the crew team. We saw the crew team with Xander and Emery's story in the first book, Pieces of Light. I would say that that book helps build this book, but they're definitely standalones in a connected world, if that makes sense. So you see some crossover. So we have Harper, who's considered a bender. A bender is somebody who lives down on the bend where the poor people live. This is a very elite, like, think of the most wealthiest kids attend the school, and there's a handful of very poor families whose kids are blessed to get to come to this school. And Harper's mom is really battles with alcoholism. So taking care of her little brother has really fallen on her shoulders. So she's very much the adult at home in this story. She starts to fall for Orion, even though they're from very different worlds. She has a lot going on. And Orion has a lot of stuff going on in his world as well that he's really, really struggling with. I loved this book so much. It is a 5-star read for me. It's so good. I will say that something fairly traumatic happened in Pieces of Light, which it was at the back of my mind, but I'd forgotten most of the details because I read that book, I think, like almost a year ago. And so when that happened, because this is like in kind of the same timeline, when that happens again in the book, I had kind of forgotten about it and I was devastated all over again. So it's really got some good emotional angst in it as well. So loved it, 5 stars. And that concludes my reading week as well. So people, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on this 1-minute book rec. To be entered to win our next book giveaway of 2026 with our 2020 I keep trying to say it wrong, with our 26 books, and that's Chasing Fire by Avery Kingston. Avery Kingston is an author that we both really enjoy. We had a lot of fun talking with her. So go follow her on all the socials if you have them as well, and check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. And if you're interested, check out our channel membership. We appreciate your guys' support.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the videos at the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
And we hope you don't have migraines or headaches.
Yeah, I know.